Would you like to build a site for your business or product, but you don't have required tech skills and don't really want to hire anybody for this task? Well, there is a simple solution for this, and in this video I will show you how you can build a site in less than an hour, even if you have never done this before. By the end of this video, you will know which tools to use and the exact steps you need to make to launch your site. Before we dive into it, hit that subscribe button that you see below this video and enable notifications to not miss out on the future content. Now, you may be asking yourself, how am I going to build a site if I don't know how to design something or code? Well, it's possible thanks to the tools called site builders or site editors, and we are going to use one of them. As you will see in the moment, it's just a drag and drop editor, and you can use it even with the tech skills of a 12-year-old. Moreover, the site builders usually include a lot of different templates that you can use as a basis for your site, meaning you don't need design skills to create a nice looking site. And the tool we are going to use is called ClickFunnels. This software allows you to build sites, funnels, a blog, different courses, email sequences, and much more. But in this video, we will focus on how to use it to create a website. You can find a link to a free ClickFunnels trial in the description of this video, and if you use our link to create your trial and ClickFunnels account, you will also receive our ClickFunnels course as a bonus to help you to master the platform faster. The first thing that you want to do when you create your ClickFunnels account is to follow the steps that you will see on the dashboard here to set up your account. And on top of that, you would need to connect your domain name. If you don't have a domain name yet, you can go to the Namecheap site. I will leave the link to this site in the description of this video and buy a domain name that you need. And because we want to use this domain for our site, we need to add it to ClickFunnels. For that, go to the sites, click domains, click connect existing domain because you already bought the domain at Namecheap. And then you should follow the steps that you will see here to connect your domain. By the way, the domain setup is one of the things that we cover in detail in our course. And as mentioned, if you start your ClickFunnels trial with our link, you will get this course as a bonus, or you can just find the link to the course also in the description of this video. After you connected your domain, we can start working on the site. For that, go to the overview. As I mentioned before, ClickFunnels allows you to build not just your site, but also a blog, community, store, customer center, different funnels, courses, and much more. But in this video, we are focusing on the site. ClickFunnels has different templates that you can use for your site. You don't have to start from scratch, and they're called themes. So the next thing that we want to do for our site is to select a theme, or to select a template, in other words, that we would like to use on our website. Click Explore New Themes, or you will see the button here, Select a Theme. By clicking on the themes, you can see different pages that are included in this theme and how they look. When you find something that you like, for example, like this theme, you can just click Install. I already have a theme installed for my website, and that's why I will go with the theme and keep editing it. Once you install a theme for your site, you can start editing the pages. For that, click Customize. On the left here, you see all the pages that are included in this theme. Usually, it's the main pages that you would need on your site. Like, for example, a home page, a blog page, course home, different error pages. If you don't need some pages that you can see here, you can easily delete them. Just hover over the name of the page and click on this Edit button. Scroll to the bottom and click Delete. You're also not limited by the pages of the site that you can see here. You can add additional pages that are not included in the template. Let me show you how to do that. Go back, select the Pages section, Site Pages, click New Page. You can select any of the templates that you can see here or start from blank. I will select this page that I can see here. Give this page a name, let's say Order Confirmation in my case. You can adjust the page URL here or do it later in the settings of the page. By default, ClickFunnels will use the name of the page as the page URL and click Create Page. Now we have this page opened in the page editor. Click on this Edit icon, scroll to the bottom and check this checkbox, pin the page to the side pages in the editor, and click Update Page to save the changes. And you can see on the left that now this page also appeared in our site pages, in our site editor. Alright, that's how you manage the structure of your site or the pages of your site. The next step for us when we create our site is to create a style guide. You can do that by clicking on the section here. In the style guide, you can select how different elements will look on your site pages. If we go to the fonts section here, you can select how your headlines will look. Any headline element that you will add on your site pages will look the same way as you set it in the style guide. If we click on this icon to expand the section for the headline, you can see that here you will be able to select a font family, font weight, letter spacing, line height, and the size of the font. As an example, let's change the font for the headline. Let's go with Open Sans. And on the right, you will see how the text will look like with that font. Go back to the fonts. You can also, for example, adjust the font for the content. Let's select a different font. All right. Click Update to save the changes. Go back to Style Guide. And then you can go to every section here and adjust the look of the elements to your liking. For example, you can select the different colors here, as you can see, for the text, for the headlines, subheadlines, icons, background, and so on. But if you're not sure which colors to use, I would recommend you to stick with the colors that are already selected for the template. Those colors are coming from the template that we selected for the site. So in general, if you like the look of the template that you chose for your website, you don't have to do a lot of adjustments here in the style guide, because every element should already look nice enough and you may require only some minor adjustments, like let's say font or font size. Once you're done with the style guide, close it, and with that we go back to the site. The next thing that we want to do on our site is to create a header and a footer that will be universal for all the pages that we create on our site. This template already has a header and a footer. All that's left for you is to adjust it to your needs. Highlight this block and click Edit Block. First, we want to add an image here. For that, highlight the element and click on this icon. Click on the settings. Go to the image URL. And you can upload an image here by clicking Upload Images. Next, you may want to adjust the menu section here. Let's say we don't need a shop section and a blog section. We only want to keep an About Us and pricing. For that, hover over this element and click on this icon to open the settings. Go to the navigation links. We can delete the shop section by clicking on this delete icon, and we do the same for the blog. If you want to add a menu, click on this button, Add Menu, and enter the name here. Let's say Our Products. All those menus are also linked to different pages, of course, because those are clickable links. And we want this link, Our Products, to go to another page, that's right. And here you will need to paste the link to Our Products page, which you can also create a bit later. You will need to delete this icon and paste the URL here. And if we now go to a different page, let's say to the course home, you will see that our header here is also updated. That's the power of the universal sections in ClickFunnels. When we have a universal section on different pages, like on our home page and different pages for our site, and we make an adjustment in the universal section settings and then save them, all the changes are automatically populated on the pages where we use this universal section. Now we go back to our home page and change our footer. These elements here work the same way as the elements in the header. If you go to the settings and then click on this specific element, that's our Facebook link, you should paste your Facebook profile URL here and then do the same with other social media profiles. But let's say you also want to add a disclaimer here and some more links. For example, to the privacy policy and cookie policy. How do you do that? First, you need to add a new row, because we only need one column for our disclaimer. And then choose paragraph. To start editing the text, you just hover over this paragraph element, and then you can just select all the text and start typing. The formatting of the text works like in any text editor. For example, you can just double click on this word and make it bold. And if we want to add a privacy policy and a cookie policy, let's add another row with 3 columns so it looks identical to this row. Or you can just clone this row and then click that button to move it down. Delete the logo here. Delete all the elements that you don't need. And now we can add text elements and then add links to them. I just duplicated this element and now I move it to another column. And if I want to add a link to this text, I need to select the text and then click the link icon in this menu, delete this icon and paste the link URL. And also I want this link to open in a new tab. For that, I will highlight this icon. After you're done adjusting your footer, click Save Universal Block to save the changes, and they also will be populated on the pages where we have this footer. Now that we got the preparational work done, we can start editing the content of our site pages. Don't worry, it's not hard, and I can show you in a moment how you can easily do it with the drag and drop editor in ClickFunnels. Let's hide the navigation bar so we have more area available for the page editor. The first thing that you need to understand about the page editor is the structure or the components, the building blocks that you can use. The biggest one is the section. You can see the green border around the section here. After that we have a row, the blue border around this component, and a row may contain multiple columns or just one column. And the smallest part that we have here is an element, the orange border. And the elements can be different kinds, like you can see here a headline, another headline, text, button, image. All those are elements. You are able to customize the look and the settings for sections, rows, and different elements. For that, you just need to highlight that specific component that you want to customize and then select the settings. Click on the settings icon and you will see what you will be able to change for this specific part of the page. Let's say we would like to change the background for this section. Then I would go to this area, background, and I can either select an image that I would like to use for the background, or I can just select a different color. Let's say it will be something yellow. To close the settings, you can just click somewhere on the page. You can also easily move these building blocks. For example, if I would like to move this section down, I would click this arrow. And same goes for the row. If I want to move the elements, I would need to drag and drop them. For example, I would need to click this icon, move, and then move this element to the place where I want it to be. If you want to undo your action, just use this arrow button here, and it will reverse the changes that you made on the page. You can also clone the elements. Let's say I would like this headline somewhere else and I just don't want to recreate the same style. I can click this clone icon and it will create the same element for me, and I can then just move it where I want it to be. And if you would like to add a new section, row, or an element, you should find this border for example, section, and then go to the bottom and you will see the button Add Section here. Same goes for the row. You find one of the rows, blue border, and then you will see this button here, Add Row. And the same goes for elements. If you highlight any of the elements, you will see this button, Add Element. And there is a big variety of elements that you can use on your pages. You can see the sections here. Some elements are general and some of them are only page specific. For example, you would use these elements that you can see here on the blog pages. If you want to add an element, you can just click on it and it will be added to your page. Alright, now that you understand how the structure of the page works in the page editor, let's edit this first section here so you get an idea how it works. Let's say I would want to replace the image and then change the text, because we have this template for the website here and we of course want to update the text with our own sales copy. Okay, let's start with the image. To replace this image, I would need to click on the settings, then go to the image URL, click on this image icon. I'm already using ClickFunnels for quite some time, that's why I have images in my library, but for you it would be clicking Upload Images and then selecting the one that you would like to use. I will just use one of these images. Now let's edit the text. By the way, if I don't need some of the elements, I can also easily delete them. Just highlight this element and then click this delete icon. To edit the headline, you would need to click on this element, select all the text, and then you just start typing your own headline. If you would like to adjust the size of this text, you would need to go to the settings of the headline. Then you can either select from the sizes that we created in the style guide. You can see that you can switch them here. Or if you want to do something else, if you want to rewrite this style, you can click on this icon with 3 dots and select the size for this specific headline. This will not change the look of the headline that we set up in the style guide. It will only affect the size and the look of this specific headline. Let's say I would like to make it a bit smaller, like this, and then select different weight. You can edit the paragraph following the same steps. Just click on this element, select all the text, and start typing the text that you need on your page. If you want to adjust the look of this paragraph, go to the settings, and you can see all the settings that you can set up for this specific paragraph. For example, if you would like to have a bigger distance to our headline and subheadline, you can increase the top margin, you can change padding, you can also add the background to this specific text, even select an image, not just color, add some shadows, add icons before or after the text. I believe you're getting the idea of how you can put different elements on your page and also edit them. Last but not least, let's go over the settings of the button. The main setting for the button would be an action, so what's happening when a person clicks on this button. In our case, it opens the pop-up. You can see it in the button action section. But let's say you would like the visitors of your site go to a different page when they click on this button. For that, click on this drop down, select Go To, and after that paste the URL of the page where you would like to send your visitors. You can also select to open this URL in a new window. And another important point is the text of the button, and you can adjust it in this field. As a reminder, the look of the button is set in the style guide, but if you want to change it, you can also easily do it in the settings here. Again, in the button style section, you can click this icon if you want to select a different look, not the one that we set up in the style guide, and then choose a different color, different font style, corners or shadows. Of course, I will not be able to show you how all the elements work here, but I would recommend you to first try yourself, and in most cases you will be able to figure out the settings of the elements yourself. And if it doesn't work, you can also use the Help Center from ClickFunnels to find the articles that will help you to adjust specific elements. And if you get our ClickFunnels course, you also will learn a lot about editing the pages in the lessons there. Once you're done with the structure and the content of the page, the next step would be to optimize it for mobile devices, because a lot of traffic nowadays comes from mobile devices. To do that, click on this icon and you will see how your page looks on mobile. You will need to go through the content of the page and adjust, for example, the font size if necessary, some colors, or move some images. An important thing to keep in mind here, if you want to adjust, let's say, the font size of this element and go to the settings, you can click on this icon. Make sure that you're adjusting the font size for mobile view and not for the desktop view, because this will mess up the view of your page for desktop. And if we adjust the font size only in this area, it will adjust the font size only for mobile devices. After you're done with the editing, click Save to save the changes. It also doesn't hurt to save the changes here and there when you're working on the page to make sure that nothing gets lost. And our final steps would be to adjust settings for the website and also the SEO information. Let's go back to our site overview. You can access the site settings by clicking on this icon. In the settings here, you can adjust the title of the site if needed. And then you can also select a favicon. The favicon is this small icon that visitors of your website will see on the browser tab when they open your site. What we need to do next is to adjust the SEO information. For that, scroll to the bottom of the page. Here you can add a title for your site. some description, preferably with the keywords that you want your site to rank for, and you can add a thumbnail image. This information, the SEO and sharing information, is information that the visitors of your site will see if they see your site in the Google search or if somebody shares the link to your site on social media. This is also the information that will show up for the preview of the link. And once you're done with that, the last step would be to publish our site. You can also do it in the settings. In the site availability, change the status of your site to public. I hope that this video was helpful, and now you can go ahead and start building your own site following the steps that I showed in the video. But before you do that, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel and enable notifications to not miss out on our future content. And I will see you in the future videos. Bye bye.